Hi, what's your name?
Kyle.
Jesus.
Michaela.
Eddie B.
Eddie B. Have you ever been incarcerated before?
No, I have not.
No.
No.
Prison. Incarceration. In the year 2019, there was over 2.1 million people incarcerated, 1.4 million of those people being in prison in the United States. Based on some statistics, as of May of 2021, the United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world, holding 21% of the world's prisoners.
I'm Joshua Matthew Lovett. DC number U21761. I was incarcerated for a total of 7 years. I spent 5 years incarcerated. I got on good behavior and then violated and went back for an additional 2 more years.
Joshua Lovett was born deaf in one ear and hard of hearing in the other. At the age of 11 years old, he went completely deaf in both ears. We asked him how his disabilities affected his time in prison.
Well, I was a deaf guy in prison. They violate all sorts of rights, you know what I mean? They fail to provide interpreters. There are CEOs that work there, you know, and we're salty. You know, they demand their respect. And they're screaming at a deaf person, telling him, hey, you know, do this, do that. Like, I can't hear you and stuff, you know.
But we also have one of the highest incarceration return rates in the world, with 76.6% getting arrested again and over 50% going back to prison. So why do people keep coming back? Why would someone re-enter this system? And why are they not learning the lesson? Prison reform is definitely needed. There's a bunch of big problems that we're seeing in prisons that need to be dealt with. Prison overcrowding.
In prisons because they've exploded so much since the Johnson administration. Now we call it mass incarceration.
Healthcare.
We see cases every day of the most horrific abuse and neglect of desperately sick people. A prisoner told to take Tums for what turned out to be cancer.
Privatization.
And state and city governments are under tremendous pressure to make the cost of incarceration as low as possible. Much of the medical care is outsourced to private contractors, who often rely heavily on unlicensed medical assistants instead of doctors. And it
can take months to even see a doctor.
Prison overcrowding, healthcare, gang activity, privatization are all things that need to be worked on inside prisons. There's a lot of stuff going on inside prisons that is stopping people from being rehabilitated and making a change for the better in our community and society. We asked some people on the street what they think prisons could do to start making better changes in order to rehabilitate the people who are coming in and change their lives for the better instead of keeping them locked up like animals. Personally feel, based off your background knowledge about the U.S. prison system today and in its ability to rehabilitate while incarcerating?
I feel like they don't really focus on rehabilitating and mainly focus towards people of lower incomes, people who are less fortunate. Usually it only hurts them, even when they get out. It's almost impossible to find work.
I don't feel that there's any rehabilitation to start with when it comes to incarceration. I feel like it's kind of like putting somebody in a box and then releasing them to be even worse sometimes.
Do you think incarceration has more negative effects on people long-term towards society?
Yeah, it can cause some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's disturbing. It's just like if you put a dog in a box and expect it to stay there and not come out rabid. It's the same thing as a human being.
During their time incarcerated and prepare them for life after incarceration.
Actually, I worked in a halfway house. So me working at a halfway house, I seen that a lot of people were against the prisoners once they got into the actual halfway house system instead of helping them. And I realized that they were more trying to get them back in jail instead of helping them.
Instead of preparing them for outside life to get a job and to keep moving forward?
Exactly. It was more of a setup in a sense. And every time they'll try to move forward, they'll be 10 steps back.
The only assuring part of this, prisons actually offer programs, you know what I mean? If you're incarcerated and there's no rehabilitation, It's really not working. You're actually doing dead time. That's why I say that the monies that they set aside for all these detentions and police things could be way better off if they would use the same money for treatment and community presentation, classes like modality, and trying to actually help these people instead of just locking them up for long periods of time, you know?